People throw words around like they don't mean something. If a woman is available to you anytime, say that again. Let it sit in your spirit for a second. Now ask yourself, what are you really saying? Are you celebrating her presence? Or are you diminishing her worth? Let me tell you something, access is not the same as value. Just because someone shows up when you call doesn't mean they're less. In fact, maybe it means more. Maybe it means she's loyal. Maybe it means she believes in you. Maybe it means she sees something in you that you forgot how to see in yourself. But what do? We take kindness and call it weakness. We take loyalty and call it desperation. We take love, pure love, and we treat it like a vending machine. Drop a coin, get what you want, walk away. Let me make something clear tonight. If a woman is available to you anytime, you better be man enough to ask yourself why she trusts you that much. And if you're not ready to honor that, to match that, to deserve that, then leave her alone. Because access without respect is abuse in disguise. And too many men are writing checks with their charm that their character can't cash. It's not about whether she's too easy. It's about whether you're too careless. You want a queen. Act like a king. And a real king doesn't misuse what God gave him. He protects it, cherishes it, builds with it. So the next time you're tempted to brag about how available she is, ask yourself if you've earned that kind of faith. Because the truth is, if she's giving you her time, her body, her soul, that's not just a woman. That's a blessing. Done. And a blessing unappreciated becomes a lesson. And a lesson ignored becomes a loss. When we talk about someone being available to us, done. Especially when it comes to a woman, there's a tendency to reduce that availability to mere access. Like she's an open door or a resource you can use at any time with thought or consequence. But here's where most people get it wrong. Access does not equal value. The moment you confuse those two is the moment you start to lose sight of what real connection, respect, and worth actually mean. Think about it. When you say a woman is available anytime, what are you really saying? You might be saying she's easy to reach or always ready to respond to your calls or messages. You might mean she's physically present whenever you want or emotionally open whenever you need her. But none of those things tell you what she's worth or what she brings to your life beyond her availability. Being there for someone is if not a given. Just because someone chooses to be present doesn't mean she's there to be used. She's there because she values you in some way. And that value should never be confused with simple access. Availability can be a reflection of trust and loyalty. When a woman makes herself available to you, it can mean she trusts you enough to let her guard down, to be vulnerable, and to invest her time and energy in the relationship. It takes courage to be that kind of open and consistent presence in someone's life. So if you mistake her availability for a lack of value, you are not only disrespecting her, you are disrespecting yourself and the relationship you share. Done. There's a world of difference between someone who is physically accessible and someone who is emotionally and spiritually valuable. Done. A person might be physically close, but emotionally distant. And that kind of access, physical access, does not bring richness or depth. It does not build a foundation. Value is built on things like integrity, respect, compassion, and shared purpose. It's about how someone uplifts you, challenges you, and stands with you, not just how often they show up. Too often, people assume that if a woman is available to them anytime, it means she's less discerning, less valuable, or less worthy of respect. That's a dangerous assumption. It strips her humanity down to a convenience. It tells her she's just a means to an end rather than a person with hopes, dreams, and boundaries. And it's a reflection of a mindset that sees relationships as transactional rather than transformational. If you want to truly understand value, look beyond availability. Look at the quality of the person who is available to you. Look at what they bring to the table beyond just their presence. What kind of energy do they bring? Are they encouraging you to be better? Are they showing up with honesty and authenticity? Done. Are they willing to invest in the hard work of building a real connection? That is value. Done. When you confuse access with value, you risk taking the person for granted. You risk treating what should be sacred as if it were disposable. And once that happens, you don't just lose the person. You lose the chance to grow into the best version of yourself through that relationship. Because relationships, especially those with women who choose to be available to us, are opportunities for growth, healing, and transformation. Done. They are mirrors that reflect back who we really are, not just convenient outlets for desire or loneliness. So if she's available to you anytime, recognize that it is not a sign of weakness or desperation on her part. It's a sign of faith, commitment, and maybe even love. And those are not things to be taken lightly. They're treasures. They're rare. They're invaluable. And if you think of her availability as just an open door you can walk through anytime, you will never see the whole house she's inviting you into. The walls she's built, the memories she's made, the dreams she's held on to. Done. You will never appreciate the full weight of what it means for her to let you in. Remember, value is about respect and honor, not possession and convenience. Being there when it's easy or when it suits you isn't enough. True value shows up in how you treat her when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when your pride or your ego tells you otherwise. Done. If you want to honor her availability, start by seeing her for more than just being accessible. Start by recognizing the courage it takes for her to be present with you, the trust she places in your hands. Done. And the depth of what that availability really means. It is a gift, a rare and precious one. And if you do not treat it as such, you risk losing not just her, but a part of yourself that only real connection can awaken. Done. Loyalty is one of those qualities that often gets misunderstood and undervalued, especially when it comes to relationships. Too many people look at loyalty as if it's a weakness, something to exploit or dismiss because it makes a person too available or too attached. But the truth is, loyalty is a form of strength. It is a rare and powerful force that speaks to the depth of a person's character and the depth of their love. To mistake loyalty for weakness is to misunderstand the very foundation of meaningful connection. Think about what loyalty really means. Loyalty means standing by someone even when it's not convenient, even when no one else is watching, even when the world seems to be against you. It means choosing to stay committed through the ups and downs, the moments of doubt, the times when things don't go as planned. Loyalty is a deliberate act of faithfulness. It's not passive, it's an active choice. And that choice requires strength. A strength that is far more valuable than any fleeting feeling or superficial convenience. When a woman shows loyalty to you, she is giving you something incredibly precious. She's saying, I believe in you. I believe in us. I am willing to invest my heart and my time in this connection, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. And if you see that loyalty as a weakness, if you think she's too loyal or too attached, then you're missing the entire point. You're treating something sacred like it's a burden instead of recognizing it for the gift that it is. Loyalty requires patience. It requires understanding. It requires forgiveness. And it requires humility. When you have someone loyal to you, they are not just there for the good times. They are there when things get difficult when mistakes are made, when you fall short. And that kind of loyalty is not weakness. It is resilience. It is a commitment that holds steady when everything else is shifting. It is a beacon that guides you back when you've lost your way. Too often, society glorifies independence and self-sufficiency to such an extent that loyalty gets mistaken for dependency. There's a mistaken belief that if someone is loyal, they must be clinging or desperate. But that's not what loyalty is. Loyalty is a choice to walk alongside someone, not to lean on them out of weakness. It is a decision to build a partnership, not to surrender one's identity or self-worth. To see loyalty as weakness is also to undervalue the courage it takes to be loyal. Done. It's easy to walk away when things get tough. It's easy to quit when the path is unclear or when someone disappoints you. But to stay, to commit, to forgive, to hope is a sign of real bravery. It's standing firm when everything inside you wants to run. It's loving not just in the good times, done, but especially when love feels hard. If you want to honor loyalty, then you have to treat it with the respect it deserves. You have to understand that loyalty is not a chain to bind someone to you. It's a bridge that connects hearts and builds trust. And bridges don't work if only one side is holding up their end. Loyalty calls for reciprocity. It asks that you meet that commitment with the same dedication and respect. When a woman is loyal to you, she's giving you her time, her energy, her belief in what you can be together. That's not weakness. That's power. It's a strength that can uplift and transform. But if you respond to that strength with neglect or disrespect, you're not only hurting her, you're undermining the very foundation of what you share. Some men fear loyalty because it feels like responsibility. They see it as a demand, a burden, or a loss of freedom. But real freedom doesn't come from breaking bonds. It comes from honoring them. Real freedom comes from choosing to be faithful and committed, from recognizing that loyalty is not a cage, but a source of strength that supports and sustains. It's important to remember that loyalty is not blind. It doesn't mean staying in a situation that is harmful or one side. True loyalty comes with wisdom. It comes with boundaries. It means standing by someone while also holding them accountable to be their best selves. It means choosing to love without losing yourself. So when you see loyalty in a woman, don't dismiss it. Don't mistake it for weakness or desperation. See it for what it is, a powerful declaration of her heart, her courage, and her faith in you. And if you want to honor that loyalty, then you need to rise up to meet it, to cherish it, and to protect it. Because loyalty is not something to be taken lightly. It is a rare and precious gift. And the way you respond to it will define not just the relationship, but the kind of man you are. Done. Trust is one of the most fragile and valuable things we can receive from another person, especially in relationships. When a woman places her trust in you, she is handing over a piece of herself, her vulnerability, her hopes, her fears. Trust is not given lightly. Done. It is earned and maintained through consistent respect. Without respect to match that trust, everything else falls apart. Trust without respect is like a foundation built on sand. It won't hold when the storms come. When a woman is available to you anytime, it often means she's giving you her trust. She trusts that you will not take advantage of her availability, that you will honor her feelings, done, and that you will cherish the relationship as something meaningful. But trust is not a one-way street. It requires that you meet her halfway with respect, genuine respect that shows in your words, your actions, your attitude. Without respect, trust becomes a vulnerability exposed, an open door left unguarded. Respect is not just about politeness or manners. It's about recognizing the intrinsic person, worth of who has trusted you. It's about treating her not as an object or an option, but as a human being with dignity, emotions, and boundaries. When respect matches trust, it creates a safe space where both people can be themselves without judgment or betrayal. It's the glue that holds relationships together. The quiet assurance that you will protect what has been given to you. Too often, trust is given too freely and respect is withheld. Sometimes people confuse respect with control or dominance, thinking that to respect someone means to keep them at a distance or to have power over them. But real respect is freeing. It lifts people up instead of holding them down. It encourages growth instead of demanding conformity. It values the person's voice and choices instead of trying to silence or manipulate them. If you want to deserve the trust you're given, you must show respect that matches it. That means listening when she speaks, not just hearing the words, but understanding the feelings behind them. It means honoring her boundaries, even when they don't align perfectly with your desires. It means being honest and transparent, even when the truth is uncomfortable or difficult. Respect is a daily practice, a commitment to treat her with the care and consideration that her trust deserves. When respect and trust are in balance, relationships flourish. There is room for mistakes, for forgiveness, for growth. The bond strengthens because both people feel seen and valued. But when respect falls short of trust, cracks begin to appear. Doubt creeps in. Hurt and resentment build. The relationship loses its foundation and begins to crumble. Respect matching trust also means taking responsibility for your actions. If she trusts you with her heart, you must take care of it. That means being reliable, keeping your promises, and owning your mistakes. It means not betraying her confidence or using her trust as a weapon or a shield. Trust given in good faith demands respect in return. A respect protects, honors, and cherishes what has been entrusted to you. There's also a deeper layer to this balance between respect and trust. When a woman trusts you, she's often showing you her authentic self, her fears, her dreams, her imperfections. That is sacred. Respecting that trust means holding her vulnerability with care, never using it against her or dismissing it. It means being a safe harbor, a steady presence in a world that often tries to tear people down. When trust is met with respect, it creates a powerful dynamic of mutual empowerment. Both people feel stronger because they know they can rely on each other. They can grow individually and together. That kind of relationship doesn't just survive challenges. It thrives through them. It becomes a partnership rooted in honor and truth. But if respect doesn't match the trust given, the consequences are profound. The person who trusted feels betrayed, hurt, and sometimes broken. They may close off, protect themselves, or withdraw entirely. And in doing so, the relationship suffers, sometimes beyond repair. It's a painful reminder that trust is precious and that respect is the only thing that can safeguard it. To be worthy of the trust you receive, you must consistently show respect in all its forms. Respect for her feelings, her time, her choices, her body, and her soul. It's not about grand gestures alone, but the small daily acts that prove you value her presence in your life. Respect is the way you speak to her, the way you include her in decisions, the way you stand by her even when it's difficult. This balance is not always easy. It takes self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to grow. It means checking your own motives and behaviors. Are you truly honoring the trust she's given, or are you taking it for granted? Are your actions reflecting the respect that relationship deserves? Remember, trust is a gift. Respect is the currency that keeps it alive. Without respect, trust erodes. With respect, trust deepens and strengthens. When a woman offers you her trust by being available to you anytime, meet it with respect that matches. not just in words, but in every part of your being, because that's how real love is built, how real relationships endure. Charm is a powerful thing. It can open doors, smooth over conflicts, and make people feel valued and seen. But charm by itself is like a shiny surface without depth. It can be dazzling, but it doesn't guarantee anything real or lasting underneath. When charm exists without character, it becomes dangerous. It becomes a mask that hides who you really are, and it can cause harm not only to others, but to yourself as well. Charm can be easy to mistake for goodness. Someone who is charming can make you feel special in the moment, draw you in with their words, their smile, their presence. It's seductive and it can feel like a gift. But if that charm is not backed by integrity, by honesty, by a strong moral compass, done. It's like a beautiful shell that contains nothing but emptiness inside. Character is what holds a person steady when no one is watching. It's what guides the choices you make when charm isn't enough to carry you through. Character is built through consistent actions done. Through doing the right thing even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when it costs you something. It's what makes a man trustworthy, reliable, and honorable. When charm leads but character lags behind, the consequences can be devastating. People can be mild, hurt, or used because they believed in the surface and ignored what lay beneath. Charm can create illusions, but character reveals the truth. And if you rely only on charm, you will eventually run out of smoke and mirrors. Too many men fall into the trap of believing that charm is all they need. They use it to get what they want without thinking about the long-term effects of their actions. They believe that being smooth or likable excuses mistakes or disrespect. But charm without character is like a car without brakes. It may look good speeding down the road, but it's only a matter of time before it crashes. Character demands responsibility. It demands accountability. It demands that you stand up for what is right and treat others with respect regardless of the situation. Charm can help open a door, but character is what keeps the door open. Charm can make a great first impression, but character is what builds lasting relationships. A man with character doesn't need to rely on charm to win over a woman's trust or affection. He shows up with honesty, consistency, and respect done. He understands that true connection comes from who he is at his core, not from how well he can talk or how attractive he looks. Character shines brightest when things get tough, when there's conflict, disappointment, or temptation. That's when charm alone fails. When you combine charm with character, you create a powerful force for good, become someone who can inspire trust and admiration. Someone who leads by example. Women and men alike are drawn to that kind of authenticity because deep down, people crave realness, not just a polished surface. When you combine charm with character, you create a powerful force for good. You become someone who can inspire trust and admiration. Someone who leads by example. Women and men alike are drawn to that kind of authenticity because deep down, people crave realness, not just a polished surface. The danger of charm without character is that it can manipulate and deceive. It can make a woman feel special one moment and discarded the next. It can leave a trail of broken trust and unanswered questions. It's a betrayal of the very essence of respect and love. And often, the man behind the charm doesn't even realize the damage he's causing because he's so wrapped up in the performance. Building character requires effort and self-reflection. It means being honest with yourself about your flaws and working to improve them. It means choosing values over convenience, truth over comfort, and respect over selfishness. It's a lifelong process, not a quick fix. Charm might get your foot in the door, but character is what lets you live in the house. It's what makes a woman feel safe and valued, not just temporarily entertained. Character honors the trust she gives you and treats her with the dignity she deserves. If you're willing to work on your character, you'll find your charm becomes more than just a surface level attraction. It becomes a reflection of the integrity and honor you carry within. And that is the kind of man who builds lasting relationships. The kind who can be counted on, who can be trusted, and who truly respects the woman who is available to him anytime. Charm without character is a dangerous combination because it promises much but delivers little. It can mask the truth and hide the real you from the people who matter most. But when you cultivate character alongside charm, you become someone who is not only admired, but deeply respected and loved for who you are. Not just what you can say or do in a moment. The question every man must ask himself is this: am I building my relationships on charm alone, or am I building them on character? Because the answer will determine the kind of man you are and the kind of life you lead. Protection is not about control or possession. It's about care, responsibility, and honoring what you hold dear. When a man values a woman in his life, whether as a partner, a friend, or a source of inspiration, his role is to protect what he values with intention and strength. Protection is an act of love, respect, and commitment. It shows that you understand the importance of what's been entrusted to you and that you are willing to stand guard over it. A real man doesn't just say he values a woman, he demonstrates it through his actions. Protection means more than physical safety. It extends to emotional, mental, and even spiritual well-being. It means creating a safe space where she can be herself without fear of judgment or harm. It means being a shield against negativity, whether it comes from the outside world or from within the relationship itself. Protection means standing up for her, defending her honor, and preserving the sanctity of the bond you share. Too often, protection is misunderstood as control, as if protecting someone means limiting their freedom. But that's not protection. It's possession. True protection empowers rather than confines. It gives a woman the freedom to grow and thrive, knowing that she has someone who cares enough to keep her safe from harm. A man who protects what he values doesn't seek to own or dominate. He seeks to nurture and uphold. Protecting what you value also means guarding your relationship against anything that threatens to diminish it. This could be external pressures, criticism, temptation, misunderstandings, or internal challenges like neglect, disrespect, or lack of communication. A real man recognizes these threats and confronts them head on. He doesn't ignore problems or sweep them under the rug. He faces them with courage and honesty because he knows that protecting a relationship requires effort and vigilance. When you protect what you value, you also protect yourself. Because relationships that are cared for and respected create environments where both people can be their best selves. You're not just preserving her dignity and well-being, you're preserving the integrity of your own character. You're showing the world who you are by how you treat what matters most to you. Protection is also about boundaries. It means knowing where to draw the line to keep harmful influences out. This can be about guarding against toxic people or situations, or about protecting her time and energy from being wasted on things that don't serve the relationship. Setting healthy boundaries is an act of protection that shows respect for both yourself and the woman you value. Another important aspect of protection is loyalty. A man who values a woman remains faithful not just in action, but in heart and mind. He protects the trust she gives him by being honest, consistent, and reliable. Loyalty is a form of protection. It shields the relationship from betrayal and doubt. It strengthens the bond by making it clear that the connection is sacred and worth defending. Protection requires strength, not just physical strength, but emotional strength. It means being willing to confront uncomfortable truths and work through challenges instead of running away. It means being steady when things get hard, offering support and encouragement when she needs it most. Protection is a form of leadership, but a servant leadership that puts the well-being of the other person before ego or pride. A real man understands that protection is an ongoing responsibility, not a one-time act. It's a commitment to show up every day with care, respect, and vigilance. It's about being attentive to the small things, the way she feels, the changes in her mood, the pressure she faces, and responding with kindness and support. Protection is as much about listening as it is about acting. Sometimes protection means sacrifice. It means putting her needs before your own comfort or convenience. It means being willing to face risks or challenges on her behalf. Sacrifice is not a burden, but a sign of deep respect and love. It shows that you value what you have more than temporary ease or pleasure. In a world that often diminishes the value of women, a real man rises above by choosing to protect what he values with honor and integrity. He becomes a guardian of her dignity, a defender of her dreams, and a partner in her journey. Protection is not about dominance. It's about stewardship, carefully and intentionally holding something precious so it can grow and flourish. When a woman knows she is protected, she feels safe to be vulnerable, to dream bigger, and to love more deeply. That safety is a gift that cannot be bought or faked. It comes from a man who understands the true meaning of protection. It's a powerful foundation on which respect and love are built. Protection is a reflection of a man's character and values. It speaks louder than words because it's demonstrated through consistent action. It's in the way he prioritizes her well-being, defends her honor, and stands firm in the face of adversity. It's in the quiet moments of attentiveness and the bold moments of courage. A man who protects what he values shows the world what it means to love with purpose and intention. He understands that true strength is gentle and enduring, that real protection is about more than guarding from harm. It's about nurturing growth, inspiring confidence, and fostering connection. Time is the ultimate measure of everything we claim to value. You can say the right words, make promises, and show fleeting gestures of affection, but it is time that reveals the depth and authenticity of commitment. When a woman makes herself available to you anytime, that availability is not just a convenience. It is a gift of time and presence. And how you respect and reciprocate that time speaks volumes about your true intentions and commitment. People often confuse commitment with grand declarations or dramatic moments, but real commitment is quiet and steady. It's the willingness to show up day after day, especially when it's hard, when excitement fades, and when life gets complicated. Time is the stage on which commitment is truly tested. Over weeks, months, years, it's the consistency that matters most, not the intensity of a moment. If you want to understand how committed someone is, look at how they invest their time. Time is one of the most precious things anyone can give because once it's gone forever. When a woman is available to you anytime, she's giving you access to something irreplaceable. Her moments, her energy, her life. To honor that is to honor the commitment she's implicitly making by choosing to spend that time with you. Commitment through time means patience. It means understanding that relationships are a process, not a product. There will be days when things feel effortless and others when they feel like work. But the man who is truly committed stays engaged through it all. He doesn't withdraw when the novelty wears off or when challenges arise. Instead, he leans in, knowing that the passage of time will reveal the strength and resilience of the bond. Consistency is the language of commitment over time. It's not enough to be present occasionally or when it's convenient. Commitment demands reliability. Showing up when you say you will, following through on your promises, and being a steady force in her life. This kind of consistency builds trust, which is the foundation upon which deep commitment stands. Time also reveals priorities. How you choose to spend your time reflects what and who truly matters to you. If a woman is available to you anytime, but you rarely make time for her in meaningful ways, that disconnect speaks louder than any excuse or explanation. Commitment is reflected in the willingness to carve out space for her in your life, even amidst competing demands. There's something humbling about the way time tests commitment. It strips away tenses and reveals true intentions. Someone may seem committed in the beginning, full of excitement and promise, but as time goes on, their actions speak louder than words. They either build on that foundation or let it crumble. And the woman who trusts you with her availability deserves someone who will build, not break, that foundation. True commitment also requires flexibility and adaptability over time. Life changes, people change, circumstances change. A man who is committed doesn't abandon the relationship when faced with these realities. Instead, he adjusts, grows, and works together with her to navigate whatever comes their way. Commitment is not rigid. It is dynamic, resilient, and evolving. Done. Time also tests patience and forgiveness within commitment. No relationship is perfect, and over time, mistakes will be made. How you handle those moments, whether you choose to forgive and rebuild or hold grudges and walk away, speaks to the depth of your commitment. Done. A man who is committed values the relationship enough to work through imperfections rather than giving up at the first sign of trouble. Another way time tests commitment is by revealing the small, everyday acts of love and care. It's in the routine gestures, the consistent check-ins, the willingness to listen after a long day, the thoughtful surprises that don't need a special occasion. These small investments of time accumulate into a powerful testimony of commitment. They say, I am here, I see you, and I choose you again today. When a woman opens herself to you anytime, she's offering more than just availability. She's inviting to be part of her ongoing story. Time is the narrative thread that weaves together moments into memories, experiences into history. How you honor that ongoing story shows whether you are truly committed to being a part of her life through the seasons and cycles that time brings. The passage of time can also bring challenges that test commitment in ways words never can. Financial hardships, family struggles, health issues. These real-life pressures require a commitment that goes beyond convenience or emotion. A man who is truly committed stands firm, supporting her and working together to overcome adversity. Time reveals whether commitment is a shield or a facade. Ultimately, time offers the opportunity to prove that commitment is not just about who you want to be, but about who you actually are. It separates those who talk from those who do. It demands that you show your loyalty, respect, and love in the daily rhythms of life, not just in grand moments. A woman's availability to you is a chance to demonstrate this commitment in action, a challenge to rise up and meet her with equal dedication. When you respect time as the true test of commitment, you understand that love and loyalty are built gradually, strengthened by patience, consistency, and care. You become a man who honors the gift of her availability not as something to be taken for granted, but as a sacred trust to be nurtured every day.